On first point defense, I always put my pylon here on this side. A lot of people put it towards the left side, which is getting destroyed very easily to compare to that one. Because with that one, you actually need to like push up a little bit. Because from here you don't see it. Only if you like push in. And if the enemy team comes from here, you just move it back. And I usually, if they push top, I usually put it under the stairs here like this, because if I put it here or even there or there, it's always gone because maybe somebody is there still or to just dive in. Or even here, I only put it here if that spot there, if I don't want to use that spot. But yeah, so that one is more safe for playing around here and the enemy team is not there. Otherwise, you just leave it on the stairs. If you play around here and the enemy team is there or there, you put Pylon up there like that. That one's pretty good, nobody can see it, unless somebody from the other side sees it and destroys it, but usually they don't do that. But yeah, if you're spawn camping the enemy or you're just pushing very far in, you can just put Pylon up here. This one's pretty protected, only if you play around this area and the enemy team is just sitting here, because you cannot see that one unless you push in. And if you decide to play in the room, you can put Pylon there, but I will still prefer to just leave it here. Unless you're in a very safe position and you're able to stay here. But when you're defending here, I like to put Pylon here. You need to angle it like this, so that it's hitting pretty much the corner here, otherwise it's gonna peek. Because if you put it like this, nobody can see it. Like even here, you only see the bright thingy. So you really have to push up this one. Another good spot will be this one, putting it like this. But I don't really like putting it on this side specifically, just because I'm so used to having enemy teammates just diving me, especially tracers. So this one is a bit unsafe, just depends on the enemy comp, it can be good. I would avoid like putting Pylon around here or there. It's not necessarily a bad spot, but I prefer to just maybe leave it there instead. Because if somebody pushes you, you'll have to most likely pull it away, the Pylon, so if anything you can just back off and that one is still healing you and stuff like that. I'll discourage putting Pylon in this room here, but if you have to, you put it there. Just because you have so many like ways you can come up here or just pick everything. So I don't really like putting Pylon in the room. Instead, I think my favorite spot of this part specifically is that one. I usually always leave it there, but if it doesn't really leave, because a lot of people pick it, so if that were to happen, I usually play more safe and put it here. Play around here, I will tell you to put Pylon here, because it's protected by this rock, and if you were to put it here or I don't know, even behind here, it will be less efficient compared to that one there. You can put Pylon here too if you play inside here, but I will discourage playing inside here because if you get the enemy team to dive you, you're pretty much gone. Unless you're playing with your DPS in there, then that's fine. Once you lose the first point and you're like sitting around here or here, you can put Pylon here. That one is pretty solid because it's very well covered, and if you make it pick like that, so you come here and just put it like this, it's filling the whole row here, so that one is pretty safe because if you put it like here, even if you put it here, it's not too bad, but it was way too exposed. So I'd rather not put it there. And if you're playing here, around here, you can put the Pylon here between these rocks like this. People from down there cannot see this one, so it should be fine. Only the people coming from behind can. So this one's pretty safe if you wanna stall it a little bit there. If you're defending here and the enemy team is there, you can put Pylon there for now. That one is pretty bad if the enemy team is pushing in. So once you're done like poking the enemy, you can move it out. And if you're getting pushed back, I always put it there. And if they push in too much, then I just move it and put it there instead. And if that one feels too unsafe, you can just move it here. If you're poking the enemy team from this side, you can put Pylon there for now. Or you can just put it here if you want it to be more safe and maybe they're diving you or stuff like that. This one is pretty solid if you play around here, but I will discourage playing here or stuff like that, because if somebody comes from that side, you're pretty much done. If you play above here, I like to put Pylon here instead. A lot of people put it around the edge or stuff like that, but if somebody comes up, especially at Winston, they usually destroy it or at least attack it. So I like to put it there instead. Okay, and for when you're defending around here and the enemy team is there, you can either put Pylon here, but don't put it here if somebody's there, of course. And you can do the same on this angle, you just put it here. But also be careful people coming from that side too. If it doesn't feel like it's all too safe, you can just move it back up here. That one should be pretty solid. You could also put it here like this. I prefer to put it above there, but it's up to you. Just in case like a Windstone comes in with a bubble, then that one cannot heal me anymore and that one on top can. And once you lose the second point and you're playing here, you can put Pylon like this if you're playing around here, this side. Always put it sideways like this, because if you make it peak and somebody like comes here and just looks around or stuff like that, that one is more protected than having it stick out. If you're defending here, you can put Pylon up there. I usually put it like that because if I put it like this, it's way more exposed than having it on top there. If you want a more protected Pylon around this side, you can put it there instead of like putting it here, even though this one is pretty good unless they start pushing in. And once they push in further, you can just put Pylon here. I usually leave it there. That one is pretty solid, but there's also this one. If you want it to be more safe, I usually leave it there. I don't like putting it here, even though it can be good, but I feel like it's too exposed, especially if somebody from here picks or stuff, they can just destroy it. If you defend around here, you can put Pylon there. Sometimes people put it like this, especially me, but I feel like it's bad because if somebody comes from this way, they can instantly see it. And with this one instead, people take out... They shouldn't even destroy it because you really need to push in forward for that. So it's pretty good. If you play inside, you can just put Pylon on top. I never have a situation where I play inside here though. I don't think it's bad necessarily, because if anything, you can just back off from here and then go away. Another good Pylon could be this one. I usually put it here if I'm defending here and the enemy team is like there still. And for when they push in, usually maybe even over time, I really like this spot. It doesn't get destroyed as often as the others. You can also put it here too. This one is bad for overtime though. Don't put it like that, sorry. Put it like this so it doesn't pick on top. And for overtime, I either just leave it here or on the other side too. Or I just chuck it down there and hope nobody destroys that. And maybe chuck it further so it lands here. And it's protected on the side, so people on the back can't really see that one. Or if you want a more defensive one, you can just leave it here. And the one is healing through here. It doesn't reach till the point, but it's good for people that try to approach it. Another good spot if they're pushing in will be this one. You just put it there and just do your thing, maybe. Usually I put it here if somebody rushes on top here and tries to push me back. I just leave it here. For attack on first point, when I come out of spawn, I usually just leave Pylon here. Unless somebody plays from that side, then I just leave it here instead. I usually play on top, because it's way nicer for me. So if I play on top, I just leave Pylon here. This is pretty good and nice for when you're pushing. And if you're with your theme especially, I usually like to leave Pylon here instead of like putting it like above here or anywhere else. Just because if you put it here instead, people from that side always destroy it, so I like to put it there more. And once you push in, you can put Pylon here. I like to put it here rather than just having between doors or put it there or anywhere else, because I feel like it's way more exposed and gets destroyed easily than that one. And that one is pretty solid because nobody sees it if you're pushed in. And if you're pushing in this room with your team, I always put Pylon here. Upside down like this, because nobody can see this one. So it's very protected for when you want to push in. When you're pushing from the inside, I like to put pylon here instead of putting like in there or in between the doors, just because if they really push in, this one gets destroyed later than anything else. And for when you're holding the choke, I like to put it here because if somebody comes from above here and just to poke or anything, they don't see this one, so it's nice. Also like to put it here if we're holding here, so that one's pretty solid too. You can also put it behind here, which I don't usually do, just because it doesn't have like a huge healing range, but it's pretty safe in case this one or that one gets destroyed. But this is like a last resource pylon. Putting it there also works, just be careful if the enemy team is playing here. I will usually avoid it, but it's still very protected, so you can just leave it there too, but just be careful. If you're playing in the room, you can put pylon in the room, so just leave it up there. That one is the safest one so far. This pylon here can work, you just come here and put it like this. I kind of like it because it's healing your team who's playing here, and is also healing the people that try and push up here too, or play on this angle. The enemy team doesn't really see this one much. You only see it if you really angle yourself towards it, so it can be both good and bad. You can also put pylon here, but this one is a bit situational. I never really put it like that, but it can be good. I don't think it's bad, so you can put it here. I usually leave it here, even though it gets destroyed a lot. This one, people expect it to put it there a lot too, so that one is very exposed compared to like the other ones I showed here, so maybe I'll just leave it like that. Oh, if it's angled like this, it's even better, so I think this one is the best. And if you're playing here, you can use the same position, pylon position that I showed on defense. Put it more exposed though, because otherwise it doesn't really get the healing range, so you can put it like that. Just be careful somebody coming from there, but usually nobody comes from here if they're defending. For when you're contesting the point, if you're able to somehow, you can put the pylon there like that. Or if you can really approach the point, you can just leave it here. Usually this position is this good, even though it's very exposed, but if they're hard contesting, they usually don't bother. And once you get the point, you can put pylon there like that for when you're pushing in. And after that, I like to put it here. I usually always leave it there, because there's not really a better much spot. I mean, you could put it on top too if you don't want to put low ground, so that one covers more, I guess. Probably better. I also like to put it here. When your team is like playing around here and the enemy team is on the stairs around, you can put pylon here. This one's pretty protected and it's healing pretty much everything. And, the enemy team doesn't see it until they really have to push in. Even from the top, they don't see it. If you're pushing in, you can leave pylon here too. I don't like to like put it here or even here, because I feel like it's always getting destroyed if there's somebody from top there or somebody diving in. I usually put pylon. I don't really think too much about this one because the escape design is kind of bad for pylon, so I usually just leave it here like this, or even closer like this, because if I put it here, I feel like it's always getting destroyed compared to that one, even though it looks more exposed than this, but it's pretty much the same thing. This one is just more safe. You can also put pylon up there. That one's probably the most safest one, unless somebody plays there, but if they do, don't put it there, of course. Wow, that one is actually really good though. And once we're pushing in, I usually put pylon here. This one, I would only put it if I'm able to like come here too, because I had a lot of situation where the enemy tank would really push in. There's another pylon positioning that I will put if maybe we're pushing here, or yeah, I wouldn't put it if the enemy team is here probably. This one is pretty good. You come here and you angle it here like this, And this ball here actually covers for the pylon. So it's pretty nice. You can only get it if you push, if you really come from this side. That's why I say that it's better if you're here instead of the enemy team. So that one is pretty safe and good. If I come up here, I usually put pylon there. It's not like the safest position, because if somebody comes from here and tries to get you off, that one is gone. But anywhere else is pretty bad in my opinion, because even if you put it here, it's gonna be the same. I don't like to put it here just because if somebody from that side does just see it. So I prefer to like just leave it around here. And for when you're about to cap, I usually just throw it on top, like I did on defense on the other point. Because people usually don't look up too much, and especially when you're contesting a point, they don't really care too much about it. They care more about the point, so that one is pretty solid. It's very exposed though. But I find it to be working much better than just putting it here. And if I come up from here and I want to pick the enemy team, I usually put pylon here like this. Because if I put it here, if they have a tracer and she's diving me, she will most likely look at my way. So if the pylon is here, she's gonna focus that first. But if she comes here and there's no pylon here, she will just keep on focusing me while the pylon is healing me, and then she will notice it. Once you get the second point, I usually put pylon here. I come here and I just put it here. This one is very protected, and it's healing through up here. So it's pretty good for when you're about to engage, or if you're a bit stuck or stuff like that. It's pretty good. And once you push in, I like to put pylon here. This one's pretty protected, and it has huge healing range. I usually always leave it there because other position will be to put it on top here, but I want it to be more safe, so I usually just leave it here. And nobody can see that one. Even if you come here, you cannot see that. So it's very well protected. And once you push in, you can put pylon there if you play around here. And I usually put pylon here. It's not like the best, but it's not the worst. This area is very open, so I think the only option is to put it there if you want to cover this angle here. If you come from here and you want to flank a little bit, I will put pylon here. It's pretty protected and nice. If you're playing with a rush comp, this is only when you're with a rush comp, and they're coordinating to like jump on top or stuff like that. I usually put pylon here only for that occasion, because that one is a bit solid, but people from here can see it and destroy it, so I discourage that. I would only put it for when I'm pushing in. And for when you're pushed in further, I try and go here and put pylon here. This one is a bit situational, because if somebody comes from here, it's gone, but there's not much of a better spot than that one, and people from here don't really see it up until you peek, so I think that's pretty solid. But you can also put it here, maybe. That one works too. This one is situational. I usually put this one when I'm about to put cap the point, because it's protected, but if somebody plays here, they see that one and destroy it. And while you're contesting point, I like to put it here, even though it's very exposed. But usually the enemy team comes from top, and they never look at that one, so they won't always this up, in my opinion, or experiences.